like internet is like a two-way thing, especially in this peer-to-peer games, right? If your internet or if your ping is at this level, like at 60 ping, oftentimes your opponent would also have the same ping. So looking at the network is as a potential cause of underperformance on any side should be neglected. At least in my opinion, that should not be an issue at all. Also, scrimmages happen every day between these Chinese teams and APAC teams, so that shouldn't be a problem as well.
And that's a good relief for me. That's a good relief for me as well, because as a gamer, as we play a lot of games, it's always a big trouble. Now we do see Nigma Galaxy going on the blue side after Trace Esports actually prefers the 2-pick Prio on the red side. Given the APAC meta that we do see a lot, this prioritization of the Senna in terms of banning would set in play here. You may as well gonna be removed here, and since NGX does have first pick Prio, maybe they can be the one to post for the Zoe.
Well, this is scary actually, because now you're banning away 2 supports already. In the Senna, in the Yun. There's the Zoe, there's the Shen. That when left open, okay, finally Zoe gets taken out. I'm not 100% sure if Nigma would go for the Zoe as their first pick. Okay, there you go. There's the Shen. So there's a lot of power picks available for taking. There's the Jace. There's the Bruisers outside lane. Even Yone is made available here. A lot of champions available for both sides. But if there's one thing I would love to see from NGX in this game number 1 is that it Just G gets a hold on a very aggressive jungler. Because to me, NGX lives and breathes Just G.
Oh yeah. Most probably.
Camille.
Yeah. Camille has been, banned almost the entirety of this tournament so far.
Mm-hmm.
And Nigma Galaxy having it open for themselves, they can just take this champion up. But given this prioritization, Trace Esports does have access towards the Ziggs and the Nautilus, the Galio or the Gragas, whomever they actually would prefer being in their hands.
Or maybe even Karma, right? Like Karma Nautilus is going to be a very scary tandem. But this is definitely a refreshing sight, because oftentimes whenever we see this support be prioritized, Gragas goes number 1, Galio goes number 2. And now my wish of an aggressive jungler has to wait. Oh, okay. Varus going to be prioritized here by Trace Esports. One thing to note is that this Trace Esports lineup of tech being the jungler is way different from what we are accustomed to seeing Trace Esports. We're not 100% sure as to why Weiba is not playing. But yeah, if you've been following Wild Rift Esports for a long time, you know that Weiba was the original jungler carry that has dominated the Horizon Cup back in 2021. So that's definitely a huge difference in this game, in this matchup.
Absolutely. Hopefully we see him, going back in the next games that Race Esports would have. But right now, I'm actually liking the Varus pick, despite the Karma being available, because now they have anti-engage, Chain of Corruption, and that's when they can actually time the re-engage, especially with the Akali picked up now for Rose.
But the mobility for Varus will always be in question, right? Like, one good Hextech ultimatum followed up with whatever you have in store for your last 2 picks for Nigma Galaxy would always be the win condition. They need someone to detect this Akali, although there is already the item called Dawn Shroud, which would allow you to detect stealthy units. I feel, going for a Karma is actually not bad here, especially since you have the Gragas. Going for a Karma here allows you to have that Tether ability, and just as I said, that Karma is perfect for NGX. Trace Esports takes it away.
Yeah, it immediately denies it away from them. That leaves very little choices here on the side of Nigma Galaxy in terms of wave clear in the bottom lane, but No, maybe Lux is still available for them. In the CN conference, we do see a lot of Morganas, although mixed feelings can be felt with that sort of pick. But NGX, they have a lot of experience with a lot of variations for the Dragon lane. They would have an answer to this. Crazy Sports actually go really ham. Yone. But look at it.
Cheese in? Because why not?
Please?
Let's go!
Please?
Alright, first game
Alright.
here in WRLA, and Just G gets his hands on his Lee Sin. This Ash pick as well does make a lot of sense, right? You don't need that much AP damage. You have Gragas that can easily farm his way to Rod of Ages for the AP threat. And again, here in APAC, if there is the what we call X factor that has been bad many times, that's the Ash, because enchanted crystal arrows can really help your side laners.
Absolutely. You know, interesting enough, we are going to be seeing a Braum in the side of Tracy Esports, so it's going to be a jungle Nautilus. In terms of pinning down champions, in terms of setting up crowd control, Tracy Esports has it really massive. As well as those cleanup damage, especially because of the Dione and the Akali. But they have to be really careful in the early game. NGX, if they are going to be known for a reason, aside from being, you know, a force to be reckoned with, one of the things that actually made them a force to be reckoned with and to be feared is their utmost aggression in the early game. Always finding ways to beat down their opponent and cripple them down early. And Tracy Esports, they have to be ready.
Shackle. Okay. Anyway, that's one of the content creators that we have here in the Philippines making a small cameo. I think he's the designated referee by this, guys. But anyway, again, just going back to your point, love that you pointed out that NGX is going to be very aggressive in the very first few minutes of this game. If this was an APAC matchup, it's expected that the first blood would happen pre-5 minutes, right? But this is a matchup against a Chinese team. And we all know that since this is the first time that we're going to see them on stage, things could be different.
Absolutely. This is going to be, you know, kind of similar to the previous game, you know, setting the tempo in this tournament and trying to set your foot in this event really well, getting a groove as well. And this is a nice composition that NGX actually has drafted, especially in terms of their aggressive nature, having the enchanted crystal arrow just ready for playmaking potential. Tracy Esports might need to really pay attention towards their screens if ever, you know, level 5 comes into play here for NGX.
Yeah, because the rotations would always go and happen pre-5 minutes, right? Demon Kite would be transitioning over to the mid lane, allowing themselves an easier access to hit those enchanted crystal arrows. The 1v1 in the mid lane is currently being owned by the Jace that currently has Electrocute, has his keystone choice, and normally if you go for Electrocute, you don't go for scaling, right? You want to make sure that the early game would be in your favor because the scaling wise Conqueror is a lot better.
Yeah. Always proccing the Electrocute and damaging your opponent. Okay. Fang is just gonna be there to help him out. And Aaron actually, whenever he picks up the Jace, he normally gets the MVP actually when he picks up the Jace. And that just shows how scary this pick off can be for NGX. And yeah, we do recognize the Yone for late game playmaking potential as well with a Fate Sealed, and it's just going to be a really slow early game, I think, here for Tracy Esports, given that we have the Akali and the Yone in the mid lane. Unless, you know, Tak goes through a nice pick off with the depth charge or the dredge line.
Yep. But the information that has been provided that Nautilus has now secured most of his camps, actually ahead of G, surprisingly. That just means, you know, that this Nautilus is a meta for a reason. Now, Just G is already in the jungle, red jungle quadrant of Trace Esports, trying to find an angle to help out Aaron in the process. But he spotted here. Level 5 attack. This is going to be very scary. Just Chi has to be careful.
Yeah, they want to set up pick off. Depth chart's gonna be used there by Tak, transitioning towards Joshi, and because of that vision, he's dead.
Yep, and that level advantage from Tak, just being able to get the resources here in the mid lane allowed him earlier access to his ultimate. If it was a level 5 Lee Sin, there would be another way for him. No.
Oh my gosh, by a margin, he managed to dodge that face heal, but Ignite, and just one more Q, Rose will pick up the kill. Unfortunate.
Yeah, not the best start. Again, NGX surrendering 2 deaths in a row to tax Nautilus. Nautilus in the jungle is going to be on the AP side, but you can see no hesitation at all. Rose is not yet even level 5, but that's an easy execute, right? You go for the ultimate, the lockdown would always be there.
And it's really nice seeing Trace Esports, set up those plays, knowing the information that they have gotten, and it was just a continuation of that said punish. 2 kills, set up momentum now for Trace Esports, and NGX, they need to recover.
They are on the back foot indeed, like less than 1,000 gold in disparity, but you could feel the pressure. Like if you're drafting the Lee Sin, oftentimes you would go and be aggressive at the early parts of the game, but was easily punished by the Chinese team. And this is really the biggest difference between APAC and the Chinese teams, right? Oftentimes, they would be getting advantage where they really needed. And that XP advantage on that Nautilus was the difference maker between a secured first blood for the Philippines and the Chinese squad.
In a well-played scenario as well. Right now, we're seeing 1,000 gold lead by Trace Esports. Not a lot, but it is very much useful in the laning phase. We do see now Demon Kite and Draw, or the Dragon lane, is going towards a mid lane as the objectives are about to spawn.
I think
Bot
Aaron's
lane, though, we
dying.
are seeing a fight.
Yep,
Who's
Aaron's
gonna be
dying.
winning? Oh, that is second casualty for Aaron.
And this is going to be a lot harder for you to win. You're the Jays, right? The Yone on the other side was already able to get 2 kills in the process just a couple of minutes ago. And if you are trading up against an opponent that knows how to take advantage of their gold lead, chances are you would be surrendering a lot of the solo kills.
And look at the arrow, nice cast as well, and they transition towards Fang, funnel their damage.
First side,
They actually
okay.
continue as Justy goes into the front. Win has to flash away, but he won't be able to escape. 3 kills now in total. A little bit late for Lee Sao, but with the Shuriken, it still connects and tracks him through. 3 for
Slowed.
1. Now being slowed down. Even a flash in by Demon Kai just
Barrier
to
is
assure
in.
with a kill.
Oh.
And that might be the thing that NGX needed to come back in this game.
True, and now the Dragon is still open for the taking. No objective secured as of yet for Trace Esports. Just when we thought that the early game is pointing towards Trace Esports, NGX was able to find the necessary angle to get even.
Yeah, they needed that. Now it's almost even. Now we are seeing NGX fighting back. Also being able to start this Dragon up since Trace Esports has picked up this Herald.
Yep.
Answering back in the objectives. But they will lose some plates here in the mid lane. Unless Draw and High can do something. Never mind. Yeah, that's a bit sad. But still, Tower is still standing.
Arrow connects on the bot lane, but luckily for Trace Esports, it was the Braum that did get that tower shot. Now, not tower shot, but Enchanted Crystal arrow shot. But looking at the replay, it started with a very decisive engage coming from Demon Kite, and that I think is the reason why this squad from NGX is just so scary. Engage can come from Hyde, engage can come from Demon Kite, and with all said and done, you even have a way to detect stuff like units because of the hawk shot. Demon Kite knows what's up, knows that his souls would be there for him, and Lee Sao had no chance.
Yeah, and because of that, it was also interesting how they were able to avoid Lisa for the most of that fight, and just force him to catch up, having the numbers advantage, funneling onto Tak and the rest of the members of Trace Esports. Now, being able to pick up the stack, now we're seeing them setting up the gold lead. And Aaron should be in a much better state. Though we do still see Tak and Lisao sitting at the very top of the gold chart.
Yep. But he can easily be detected by hawk shots coming from Demon Kite. Now, Demon Kite can start the fight here. Arrow could happen anytime soon.
Patience.
But they're holding off. They're being patient here.
Yeah, this is going to be a nice setup actually by NGX if ever. But I think Trace Esports has a good sensing of what's going on. They are grouping up in the mid lane as well, as we do see Rose just backing off entirely and leaving the wave as it be. They're setting up a trap here for Just G. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
that
had
would
it
have
connected.
been...
Yeah, that Just G for sure. Like one hook is all that's needed by Tak. Especially looking at his items. By now, he should be able to at least 100-0 almost everyone from the side of NGX. The amount of AP damage available to this Nautilus at this part of the game, you can easily say one good hook could mean the death of one member of NGX. But Arrow goes wide on the top side. Hyde continues to impress against Lee Sao. He has the advantage and goes for the lockdown.
Yeah, 3 people are here. Feng is gonna reach him, but Tower has fallen down. A nice dodge actually here by Josh. He's setting up. Sonic Blade not gonna be connected, but Demon Kite is here to finish up the kill. Feng now, the next target. He's not gonna be able to escape here at all. Quick rotation by NGX.
A 5-man squad on the top side, and you want the second tier tower. Meanwhile, Trace Esports on the bot lane is left to go back. Yes, they were able to get that mid lane tower, but NGX very decisive. The different side of macro that we are accustomed in seeing from them whenever they face against APAC teams. Man, they're showing that they can do it against the Chinese teams as well. Looking at the replay. Wow, I mean, look at Lee Sao. He had no chance. Exec ultimatum. No way for him to go anywhere. Demon Kite will be here at the perfect timing with one perfect volley. He was able to secure that kill secure. But man, what a start for NGX.
Yeah, they also picked up the second tier tower. So basically the top side is secured now, and they can just focus on mid and bottom lane, which bottom lane tier 1, that's very low already. And Trace Esports, they're slowly losing vision across the map because of those towers being taken out. NGX setting up a possible play actually towards top side since the RH is up.
Value of Hawkshot is just too much. Spotting 3 members by Trace Esports, just she knows where to start this team fight. But this Rift Herald is now being started by Trace.
Esports, just waiting for Rose to be in the vicinity. The Akali as well is here. Hextech Ultimatum gonna be denied with the stasis, but Change Corruption doing a lot of work actually. Fate sealed onto 2! As our Demon Kite is in trouble. Lisa just chasing him down. The Flash will not help him. Draw now has to escape. And we do see NGX being shattered in scrambles here as Trace Esports cleaned them up.
And amidst all the positive things that could happen for NGX, the thing that they did not want to happen was Engage faltering. And the Engage was easily embraced by Trace Esports. Again, remember, this is still a Braum. One good Glacial Fissure can actually negate all the engage potential that you have. Too overeager by Hyde. And again, Demon Kite's arrow connecting onto the Braum was the biggest difference maker there.
Big answer back here by Trace Esports. Double arrow though. Fortunately will not connect, and that's the thing with the composition of Trace Esports. Okay, that's a kick. That's a good counter, catching someone off guard. That is sad Nautilus there. Now they go in once again. Chain of Corruption gonna be negated here by Hyde with a flash. As now Trace Esports caught in the midst of the tower. Just wanting to get a Sonic Wave connecting. Now they go in. Oh, the Fate Seal onto the back line! That's a beautiful engage by Rose! Now with a stun, it will get the kill. And challenge triple arrow onto Lisa, but the stun is not that long. Hyde has to disengage. Just actually went in. That is overzealous. They will go and back away for now. 1-for-1 trade at the very least.
A very aggressive start, and this is Wild Rift at its finest, right? Kills left and right. And the gold is very much even, Giyang. I mean, the potential for NGX to still pull the trigger is very much up there. It's going to help them now because the first tier tower in the mid lane was just destroyed. And we all know how impactful that tower is, especially against the composition that NGX has right now. NGX wants to go and go for his very successful engage, which can easily be negated by this Braum. Looking at NGX right now, they're planning to trade.
Rated towers tier 1. Nice preemptive enchanted crystal arrow as well there by Demon Kite. You know, just in case Rose was there guarding bottom lane. But now as they push through here in this tier 2, we do see Feng just helping out Rose in case that NGX does follow up. Especially that they're grouped up here in the bottom side river. And Tracy Esports, they're keeping up despite the 4-1 casualty that happened to them. You know, this has been a back and forth ride between these two talented teams, NGX and Tracy Esports, and looking at the chart as well. Wow, it's really back and forth.
the seesaw game is continuing, but if you are NGX, you are happy waiting it out, right? Waiting for the perfect opportunity. Again, when talking about Trace Esports, this is still a Chinese team. And respect has to be given. Enchanted Crystal Arrow by Demon Kite, not going to hit anyone.
We're also split pushing towards top lane right now. Just helping out Hyde, just in case, you know, anyone would actually go towards top side. And since they have cleared out top lane already in both tier 1 and tier 2, it's really helping them so much have that coverage and build the wave to pressure the top lane of Tracy Esports in preparation for any objective, actually.
Yep.
The Baron or the drag that is about to come up in the next possible minute.
And Rose is still trying to find an angle to go in and assassinate Demon Kite. Lee Sao is now very scary as well. If you are Demon Kite with no mobility at all, if your flash is down, if your exhaust is down, you're as good as dead, right? Like, this is actually a lot harder now for NGX. And look at Trace Esports. They're now going for a sneaky Baron. Someone has to check this. No information given.
No wards. They will spot it out, but it's a little tad too late. Justy couldn't reach in time. A well-played decision here.
Trace Esports would have every single avenue to just go on with the push. Trace Esports, though, still is in at an advantage and could just go for the dragon here.
Going to be very difficult still for NGX, especially with a Baron secured here by Tracy Esports. They can split up, but I think though with the composition of Tracy Esports, it's specifically designed to group up here, especially with the Nautilus and Braum. So they have to, you know, give up top lane and just send Rose there to battle against Hyde, and he is the most fed so far here on the side of Tracy Esports. With the Baron, they're able to secure the wave in the mid lane and the bottom lane, preparing now for this Ocean Drake. But NGX, they have more room here for opportunity, especially with Justy's prowess whenever he lands the Sonic Wave.
Yep, and teleport is available to Hyde. Hyde, the 1v1 on the top side is happening. If he goes down here, that's big for Trace Esports. Oh no.
Wind as well is there. Oh no. Piercing arrow, not gonna be connected, but has a chain of corruption. That is so unfortunate for Hyde with a pick off. Now they call onto the Ocean Drake. That's the Glacial Fissure, and they will still secure the Ocean Drake, but they have to exit here. And the exit paths are being blocked by Lisa. Fortunately, it's just all alone. And with Justy and Aaron, they're able to disengage successfully, but Demon Kite is on the other side. It's quite unfortunate, and no flash is gonna help you escape that.
Numbers advantage for the side of Trace Esports. They're now taking down towers left and right. Could easily take down this mid lane tower as well. And there you go. Trace Esports.
Oh, that's a kick! Oh. Almost hitting Rose as well, but now they go in once again. Tower still very low. NGX. And they transition towards the bottom side without Demon Kite. No one is actually there to help wave clear for Aaron. They lose the inhibitor tower. Rose is just hunting anyone that actually gets too close onto them.
Big swing for the side of Trace Esports, but still not over for NGX. They were able to secure the second dragon for themselves. And again, as long as your win condition survives, as long as your Nexus is alive, then there still is a chance. Baron is going to be the next point of contention here for both squads. And I can feel the pressure right now because NGX is now slowly crumbling to Trace Esports' magnificent macro.
Absolutely, the macro of, and basically the decision making here of Trace Esports has been very efficient. And whenever they get any information onto NGX, they set up a play for it. Hyde gets killed, they force it. They know that NGX will force the dragon, so they cut their path. They know that eventually they will split up. They get the kill onto Demon. They transition towards the mid and bottom lane push. But now, speak of sneaky, NGX
not so sneaky. There's a vision ward that is detecting them. That potential Baron. But really, the biggest part here is Hyde winning this 2v1.
Wow. From downtown.
He
Can
needs to
actually
kill.
the kill?
He needs to kill Rose.
Oh,
No! There's a lot of investment being put in by NGX. Arrow connects. Even a 2v1 scenario. And still, amidst them all, Rose survives. What a play by the mid laner of Trace Esports.
Yeah. Now, it's time for Elder Drake. And this is going to be very scary, actually, for NGX.
True.
Especially that most of the time we do see them, sending out Hyde, Camille to split push towards top lane, and based on what happened earlier, it could be very scary for Nigma Galaxy. Trace Esports, yeah, especially for Rose, has been having a hard time, especially with the arrow, but like that, his pressure still remains. Arrow now
onto the Braum, but this Elder Dragon is melting fast. Rose here. Okay.
Ask. Sonic Wave gonna be connecting, but they're
She's
focusing on the Joshi. He goes golden, but they're now pummeling into the dragon.
Who gets the
Who's
dragon?
gonna be getting it? It's actually going
Oh,
to the NGX! Aaron gets it for the team! At the best possible case, they needed a hero, and here it comes! Getting now the advantage that they needed. Hyde is now in Super Saiyan in the top lane, bashing the tower down. Enchanted
Arrow
Crystal
connects.
Arrow
That's it.
connecting onto the Kali, and that's gonna be it. NGX, they find the opportunity, they find the window, and they get game number 1.
What happened? What a game! Again, everything that could go wrong went wrong for the side of NGX during the first few minutes of that game, right? Just Chi got assassinated by Tak, by Bros, as the first blood. But NGX persevered, went for their win conditions, went for the engages, went for the side lane push, and Hyde again